Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny Room from A2C Crafty Crafts. This is a part of a challenge of 6 we have going in JJ's Paper Bead Buddies and More, and also in Bonnie's Creative Designs. I'll have the link to my Facebook page in the description, but I'll just type in Bonnie's in the description. I usually, whatever ladies that are in my group, I encourage them to go over to Bonnie's group, as I'm an admin in her group also. We're all about paper beads, or also on my group we do a little bit more than paper beads. And so does Bonnie. So we have these challenges going. We've had them for a little while now, and it's just to get everyone out of their comfort zone, and we're not doing the same old. So what we're doing, to start off, you'll need some pliers. I've got different pliers here. I've got round nose and flat nose pliers. These will be used to make some bails for the back of my little medallion things, whatever you want to call them. So I'll put those over there. This is what I made in the group. That one's to be glued, and that one. I made these ones here in the group. I haven't finished the back. I'll put the little bail on the back of them. I've got a couple here ready to have bails on that one, and this one I've made quite a long time ago, and that one's been, I've used resin on it. This one I did a long time ago at the same time I did these, but I've filed it down and just put the resin on the top in our group last week. For the pictures on the top, you can use anything whatsoever. We've painted some pictures last week, paper, I don't know, was it last week, the week before, and I come up with these things. It's just randomly just spreading out paint, doing no specific design, and what's left you can roll them into paper beads. So they're the ones that I chose by moving my little template around to get what I want, what I thought would be really nice. This one was a marble piece I cut out because I did some marbling also. Those ones been done quite a long time ago, and it's just the way I sort of brushed the paints and put little black things on it that they actually come up like designs. The two that I had finished off in the group, if you'd like to go over and join the group, you will see the video there, and I just followed around and thought, oh, that's pretty, and I just cut them out and then stick them on. Was like that one there. To me it looks like a slope of a mountain, a sand hill, and it's got these little bits of rocks and dead trees and that's laying on it. So that's why I chose that one. The painting I did in the group were these, and they were just basically done like that, but I did add a bit of red and that sort of thing, and they turned out really nice. I really like how they turned out. They look like a scene type of thing if you look at them. This piece here and this piece were done by painting. I used a vegetable spin to do these. You can do thousands and thousands of these squares and you'll never get one the same. I've been doing this sort of thing for many years. I started out using a machine my dad made going back in the, gosh, I don't know, gosh, I couldn't even tell you now, but it's a really, really, really long time, because I used to use British paints and I used to actually sell the artwork that I used to do. And then when the vegetable spinner come in and we moved and I wasn't allowed to carry my spinner thing around with me, I then ended up using a vegetable spinner. I thought, well, maybe that'll do the same thing, and it does. So I've got those there. I do have little bits and pieces somewhere. Oh, here's a little green piece I done. So that's what you come up with, and you got no idea what will turn out, but that's what turns out. And these are others that I have done recently. These ones here, and you can see these were just using 2 different color pinks, white and gold, and they just come out. Each one's different. Okay, this one was used by purple and white and a little bit of gold in that. So what have I got? 3, 4 of those. That's those 4, and not one of them turned out the same, but it's using the same colors. I put the paint the same one down. I'm not sure which direction I went, whether I went purple, white, gold, or gold, purple, white, I'm not sure, but I followed suit all the way through, and they come up with total different patterns. And this one was done with blue, green and white. I think that's the only colours I used in that, because I was trying to get something out for Torres Strait Island, but I got a nice sort of coral piece, as you can see there. It looks like a piece of coral. So you just don't know what you're going to turn out, but you'll never ever get the same print over again. And these ones here were done also by using the same method, and that was the pink, white and gold I used on those. So that's that one there. You can also go along, if you can grab a picture and see a nice little picture and you think, oh gee, that's nice, you could cut that down and put on your cardboard. But today I'm going to have a go of using dried flowers, because I love doing dried flowers and I use them in different projects. So I'm going to use dried flowers. So to do this, you'll need cardboard, right? You don't go out spending money. The only money you spend on is wire, glue. I'm using resin. If you haven't got resin, you can use whatever. You could use this. I can't tip it right on the thing because it'll tip over. And it will leak out. I'll tip it as far as I can so it don't leak. So that's what I use there. That one there. And that's a floor varnish. I've used that. The glue I use is PVA glue. It's cheap. I buy it in a great big, I'm not sure whether it's a litre or 2 litre bottle I buy that in. It lasts me for a long time. But these pieces here, I have used a book that would happen to be, I've got one son that's now is in his 50s, one in my son in 48 and a daughter in, I have a daughter in 50, just gone into her 50s, and I also got a daughter who's around 47, I think she is. So I just peeled that off and come up with that. If you haven't got anything like that, just use normal cereal boxes. The painting I did, I just got brown paper. This is what I've also used for my beads. This was done for another challenge we had. And I just put paint down, cheap acrylic paint, nothing's expensive. It's all bought from the dollar store or from Coles. I think Coles you get little bottles. If I remember rightly, they're about $2 a bottle. You get these ones here from the dollar stores here in Australia. I think they were $2.50 or something. I'm not quite sure, but I've had them for a while. They last a long time. The wire I bought from Temu because it's cheap. It's very good, and I've used quite a lot of it lately. What else is there? Oh, if you want to use something like this and you've got your own piece of paper that you just put paper on, rolled it on, whatever, you can just move it around to see what would really be nice. You just move it around to whatever you think may come out, and these will come up really nice. Like I like that piece there, so I just move it around till I get a nice little, and I like that. So you just move it around till you get a little piece that you want to use out of them, and whatever left you can make buttons with cardboard and things like that. And I'm not sure now whether I've got a video on that or not in YouTube, but I will have a look and have a go. Okay, we'll get started on this because I don't want to take up a lot of time, so I will pause this in and out to save time. I've got my pieces cut out here. There, you can cut them to whatever length or width or circles, whatever you want to do. You can cut them in heart shapes. I better go centimetres, hey. So this is halfway between what's that, 2.5, 2.5, 6, 7, 8, 2.8 centimetres wide by 4.3 centimetres long. So that's, and if you want to make them bigger, make them bigger. It's your choice. You know, you don't have to go the measurements I'm doing. You just go to whatever's going to make you happy. So I just got my glue in here. The little bottles I got these from, I used to buy them from the dollar store, but Temu had them a lot cheaper. So I've been buying them from Temu. So I'm going to layer up 4 pieces, move it around a bit so you get all the air bubbles out, and it'll just go nice and smoothly on. I'll just layer up 4. Oh, you'll need a fingernail file. I'll use fingernail file to file my edges down. I'll show you how I did that. I use a lot of baby wipes to wipe the stick and paint and that sort of stuff off my fingers. Put another piece on. And then when this one dries, we'll file it back before I paint it, because I'm going to paint it with black and sparkly so that I can then glue my picture on, my flowers on. I haven't, I've used dried flowers and that before, but not doing this sort of method that I'm doing. I usually have done pictures or painted works or things like that. Let's wipe the stick off my fingers. Okay, so we'll set that one aside to dry so I can file it back. I have got a file here. I've been doing Christmas presents, so my I wasn't going to do presents this year, but for my daughters I thought I'd better do them something, and my grandchildren. My little granddaughter likes jewellery. So with this one I'm going to actually set it like that, but I'm going to file. So first off, I'll just file right round. I'll put this down so that I can easily get rid of all the little sand pieces. I'll just file it around a bit. I do have a rotary tool I set up, but I'm not using it on here because it's too noisy. And the rotary tool I've had for, gosh, ever and a day. I usually wear a mask doing this because I'm asthmatic, but but at the moment, while I'm on here, it's very hard to talk properly with a mask on, so I'm not wearing one at the moment. But please wear a mask because the dust off these are very fine. So I'm just going to start shaping it. I might have to bring that up. Goes up, that goes down. I'm just going to bring it so I don't have to sort of be so much out of frame. That's better. Guys, I have a stoma, so if you hear some weird noises, it's Katrina, which I call my friend stoma. It acts up sometimes, and sometimes it'll be good and you won't hear a word, and other times, yes, you will hear a word. So I'll just pre-warn you prior. I can't cut it out. I don't have the program to able to edit my videos. But it's one of these things, it's a life-saving thing, so you just can't help. It just has its say sometimes. Letting everybody know that she's there. It takes a little bit to file down, so what I might do, as you can see that I'm filing, I might pause this. As you can see, it's starting to take a bit of a shape there. I'll pause this and then I'll file away and I'll come back to the next step. Okay, I'm back. So I now file that down to where I'm happy with. It's got a little bit of an oval ridge like this, which can be easily seen with the black. So what I do now, I'll go over that with black. I'll get one of my little dishes. You could use any colour. I've used gold and purple on some of them. The colour's your choice. Once again, I just use my finger. I don't worry about brushes on this sort of thing. I seem to be able to do it a little bit better with my finger than I do with my brush. I have more on my picture than what I have anywhere else. I just go around it once, and when that dries, I will then come back over it. I like the little bit of shimmer that you get with this. That's why I like to use it. In a little bit of a crack area there. Fill it up. I'm just doing it to what I'm happy with. I don't overthink things too much with it. They still turn out pretty awesome. So that's that one there with the black around it. So I'll sit that there to dry, and I'll see how dry this other one is. Still a bit too wet. Still a little bit wet. I'll just pause this a bit and see how it goes with the filing. And I'll be back. Okay, I've got it rounded somewhat, but not as much as what I want it rounded off to be, but anyway, it'll do. So what I'm going to do now is paint my black paint all over it. Oops, that's resin. I better not use that as yet. I want a fair bit of sparkly on this one. So if I haven't got much there, I've got some other stuff there I'll put over the top to make it a lot more sparklier. So I'll just set that to dry. There. I'll check this one out if I need a bit more black on it. Sometimes 2 coats enough, you might need 3. But I think the 2 is enough on that one. So I'll sit that to dry. And I'll move this little bit of paint out of my way. I'll just move it up there. Hope it doesn't run everywhere. And then I'll take one of the ones that have been done. I'll put another bit of gel around that one, and then we can move on putting the back to that. So while I'm waiting on the other. So I have this because it reflects the light up when I want things to dry straight through. So I've got that there. I've got my little pot of resin underneath, away from the UV light. So there's my little pot of resin that's in there. So I always keep that down in the bottom part away from the UV light, because otherwise it sets it all hard. I use bottle tops to sit my work on, so I'll put that underneath there. As you see, that little bottle top sitting there. It might suit me better to plug it in so it will work. So I'm just sitting aside, I'm just putting my resin on, because I found doing it where the computer is too, the light seems to set it too quick on me. So I've just moved away, is to get the resin all level out, no bubbles, otherwise it'll set on me. I really don't want that to happen yet. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's winter time overseas and we're starting into our summer here in Australia. And we've had a cyclone up north. Thank goodness it wasn't what you call real severe, but I feel for the ones that are living up there. I've got cousins all up there. I haven't heard anything, so I'm praying that they will be all safe. Okay, I've got that all done. Okay, I'm going to sit that on my cap like that, and then I'm going to sit it 2 pumps, which makes it 1 minute. I'll pause it, and when that's set I'll come back. Okay, so there's that is. It's already had my second coat of resin on it. So we'll go to the next piece, which is this piece. I'll move this out of the way for a couple of minutes. I'm going to put a bail on this one. I'm going to coil it, I think. No, I won't coil it because I want it to go up that way. Reminds me of the sunrise, that one there does. So what I'm going to do, there's 2 ways I can set this. One of them I've done before, which is long ways. I roll a coil and then I'll stick the coil down, and I'll do the coil on that one, but this one I'm going to do, and this one I'm going to do the other way, bail. I need these and I need this, and I think that's all I need. Oh no, I need my flat nose, and I need this. Okay, I'm going to take, because these I've got 6 different sizes. Okay, if you haven't got one of them, you use a toothpick, which is wide enough to put a your cord or whatever through, or you can use a bamboo stick or the end of a paintbrush. I'm thinking, have I got a paintbrush here that I can use? Because not everybody will have these sort of things, so I'm trying to use what you guys may have floating around your house. Because I've been doing jewelry making. I'm a silversmith actually, so I'm just going to use a paintbrush. So I'm going to run, this is, that's 22, I don't want 22, I need 20 gauge wire. And I've got my paintbrush pressing on my flowers, press flowers. And if you want to press flowers, all I did with that, I just got pieces of watercolor paper, which is like that, and I pressed it in between, once again, cardboard, and then I use really thick cardboard like that. This what I got from the hardware. I went and picked up some wallpaper pieces, and I fell in love with the thick cardboard, so I cut 2 of them and I press everything in between. I don't know whether, I can't even think now whether I've got a video on that. If I haven't, I will do one. I'll make a point of next year of getting a video done. Okay, so I'm just going to have a strand down there. I can cut it off, piece of wire down there, and I'm just going to wrap it around as close as I can. My dad had made me a coiling machine many years ago, and I was told Tamu has them, so I went and checked them out, and they do. Tamu has some there for sale too, and I knew they come out in like Amazon, but I've had mine for a long time, because I used to work with my dad with jewelry. Dad used to cut and polish gemstones, and I used to sit and put them into jewelry for him. And I was only a little bit of a girl then. I'm not sure quite how old I was. I would have been about 8. No, I would have been a bit older than that, because I made my first dress when I was 8. Might have been 10 maybe. I used to make the jewelry, and Dad used to do the polishing, and he made all these bits and pieces of tool things. I even got a well, they called it a wig jig. I don't know what I ever called it, but I've still got it, and it's under here. Sorry, I accidentally hit the pause button. This is my first wig jig thing. I don't know what I drew there, something we were doing, experimenting, and it was a 4x2 a block of wood, and Dad marked out the holes and drilled them, and back in that day they were used with bone knitting needles. As you can see, I'd actually dug out the bone knitting needles out of there where they've actually broke off and stuck in there, which was fun getting them out. But that was my first wig jig. Or well, we never called it a wig jig then. It was just a tool for making pretty shapes with wire. And the tool I have for this I've got 6 pieces of different wire. This is all fencing wire that Dad made the tools out of, because I marked them when I was doing silversmithing, so that I knew the equipment was mine. So Dad made all those for me. And there is a finer one. They're all done in different length, different widths. So there's a finer one floating around somewhere. And this is an aluminium piece that Dad had made. And he just bent it all and got holes drilled through there. And I've got to put that to my desk, but it's very hard to work on my desk for it to stick. And not everybody has things like that. So, okay, we've done our shape. So I want to make sure I press it, that it actually sits over. I'm not going to worry about straightening it as yet, because I can straighten that later when I have got it set. So now you can leave it straight if you want to, just cut it off short, leave it straight. But I am going to put a coil on mine. I might cut that off a little bit more. My wire don't fly. And I'm just going to coil it and grab it flat. And wrap it around to make a coil. And it'll just look a lot nicer than having a long flat piece on the bottom. We've got quite a nice little coil sitting there. I'll try and bring it around where it'll meet about there. Then I'll do the other side the same. So I'm just grabbing it right on the point to start myself going, where it's a very tiny little coil. Once I've got it started, and then I'll start wrapping it around on top of each other. And I've gone the wrong way with that. I need to twist it. Okay. Put that back in there. I need to twist it around. I started wrapping it the wrong way. Okay. Now I'll straighten it up. It's going to be nice and straight. Okay, so that'll be that one there. So I'm going to make sure I can get it to sit. Yes. I'm going to make sure I'm going to sit it down right. So what I'm going to do now is get my resin tool out again. Move that there. Put down my mat once again. get my resin. I'm going to put resin on the back of that because there's nothing on the back of that. So what I'm doing is just putting my resin right over the whole back. Then I'm going to make sure I have which way I want it to get the resin off my fingers so I don't put it over everything. I think I might put it up the top there, so I want it up there. So I'm going to set it down, but I think I may have to hold that. Hopefully not. Just look up underneath and make sure I got it where I want it to go. So I'm going to set it down there. And I'm just going to put a dab of resin on the top so that it will hold it in. So I'm just going to pause this, and when it's finished I will come back. Okay, so what's happened here, it actually moved off, so I've pulled it off, as you can see there, and I've got a hard bump there. So what I'm going to do now is my file. Where's my file? Here it is. So I'm just going to get my file and file that off. Please wear a mask when you're filing resin. Okay, I'll file that off, but I'm going to have to put a bit more resin around there because I've marked it. So I'll just put a bit of light resin around there where I've actually marked that, and then I will set this up under there. I'll just pause it and I'll be back. Oops. Okay, I've got it all set up now. I'm going to rest it on a coil of wire I've got there, just so that I can actually get it to sit on. I'll have to try and press it down maybe. Need something to press it down with. Try and get them to sit. If I can just get it to hold a little bit, will be just nice, but it doesn't want to hold. It's going to be very persistent. What else can I do with it? I've got nothing here. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'm just going to put a bit of oil, Vaseline on my stick. Not much, just a tiny little bit, and that'll stop it from sticking to my wood. So I need to press it down. So I'm going to, I only want it enough to heat, and it's not going to. Okay, buddy, you got to work with me. You really need to work with me. You're not allowed to fight me on this job. There's no such thing as fighting against me. Okay, we shall see how we go. Okay, I'm turning it on. Now I'm going to pause. Okay, I've added another coat back on that, so it's all set now. So that's my bale. And I'll put the same bale on this length one here. This one I want to do a long one, but first off we'll quickly put on my flowers on here. I'll remove the foil, and then I'll do the bale for that one there. So that's, I'll leave that and paint that later, but I'll just get my piece on here because I'm going to paint it off camera. I'm not quite sure how this is going to show up, but we shall see. It's just an experiment. Maybe if I take a couple little leaves maybe to add there. I'll glue them on. Yeah, that'll be, I think that'll be quite nice actually. So we'll cut that off. Sorry, I just need to pause that. I do apologise for that. I thought I had turned my phone down, but obviously I didn't. So what I've done now, I've just went over the thin layer of this. It's a crystal, I don't know what you call it, glossy sort of thing that I put on there, and I'm just going to stick my flower on. Very carefully so I don't break it. And I've got a couple of little leaves I'm going to try and put them on. Oops, a days. Need to go that way. So when it dries, I think it'll be pretty cool with the resin on top. What do you think? Let's hope it will work. So I'm going to set that aside now to dry, and I'll do this other foil for you so you can see that done, I'll just move my dry flowers out of the road, put my board on top of that. Put my paper on top, and they're there for next time round. Those big gerbers, I want to use a try and put do some coasters, but I'll do that on YouTube on my channel, show you guys the process of it. So I'm just going to stick the rest of these together with a rubber band, and then that will hold it all in place. So there's my rubber band that holds it all in. I've got another one that goes around this way, and it just holds it all in place like that. Oops, I've got one left. I have to put that in later when I'm finished. So we've done that. I'm happy how that turned out. Looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to use my widest tool. I'll try and see if we can set it up on here without moving. So I'll just pause that, and then I'll try and set this up and move my camera. Okay, I've got it set up. I'm just going to try and move my camera. Oops, that's not the way I want to go. I have to bring it back. I just don't want to show everybody my mess. And it's not going to... No, it's not going to show. Sorry about that, guys. So what I'm going to have to do is take it off. It's not going to work. Do it by hand again. Okay, I'm using my 20 gauge wire. Again, that's 22. Do I want gold on that? Yes, I do want gold on that. So I'm just going to unwind quite a bit. And I'm just using, I think this was Smith. It's the same as this one. Yeah, Bear Smith. I've had this for a long, long time. It's made in USA. It doesn't tarnish. I've had this for, gosh, many years. I think I haven't, it has to be 15, 16 years since I did silversmithing. So it really does last. So what I'm doing now is just twisting it around. But you can use a knitting needle or anything with this. You don't need to have special tools to do this. If you've got any old fencing wire, just go out and cut a piece of fencing wire off. That's why Dad ended up doing this sort of stuff for me, because I was forever lasting cutting off bits of wire off the fence line. Even when I was doing my paper bead jewelry when I was very young, the fence wire line was the one that was targeted for wires I used to use for rolling my beads. Or I used the good old straw broom if I wanted them smaller. I used the good old straw broom. Mum used to go mad because her broom used to get thin. And she used to wonder why her broom was getting thin. I was the cause of it. I'm not going to worry about pressing them too tight because I want the resin to go in between, and so that will hold it. I'll go a bit longer. I make all my jump rings this method also. but I use a knitting needle for more wider jump rings, larger jump rings. I'll use my knitting needles. I think that'll be plenty. I'm going to go around to where I finished, where I started. Okay, I'm going to cut that off there, and then I'm going to cut that off there, and I'm going to slide it off. And then I got my coil, and if you want to cut them, you just cut up the center with your flush cutters, and then you've got your jump rings. But I use a little saw on mine. I put a piece of steel up the center of it, or I'll use that same coil wire, and then I will, whoops, I went too thin, and I'll use it for filing up the center of it. And I just wrecked that one, so I need to cut it off. Golly gosh, I really want it to cut the same. Thing. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, add my resin on the back of there. Make sure I go right to the edge. I'll paint the whole thing with my resin. But I'm going to make it a line of thicker resin along there, so I can push my, put that down away from the computer and my brush so it doesn't go hard. So now I'm going to move that out of the road. Slide it out. Oops, I moved it. I think that's pretty level. Looks to me, I'm not very good on the eye with things being level and unlevel. I've got to use a measure to make sure I have everything precise, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. So I'm carefully going to break that up, put it down on my thing, I'll turn the light on, and then I will pause it. Okay, while I was waiting for this to dry, so I've done the 2 coatings on that now, and there's your coil bail. So that's another bail. There is another way where you can do it, you can wrap it with wire and put it up, but we'll do that at another day. We won't do that today. But this is what we did for our our challenge 6. So that's really pretty. I quite like that. It's like a rock there and some little bit of a bush there and a bit of a tree up there in the grass, and like a sunset sky sort of thing. So I quite like that, a bit of a scenery, but it was never meant to be like that. So give those a go. And if you I won't go there, hang on a sec. This is still wet. I've got it all glued down, but it's still wet. But I will put the resin over top, and I'll just show it next time I do a video. I'll show that one up first, and then I'll put the link to this video in my other video, so that whoever wants to know how it's done, they can come back and look at that. And I just put a coat, just the one coat at the moment on that, and it looks like a bit of a scenery, that one too, like a rock coming out there, and a tree there, and a bit of grass and a bit of shadow there. So it's just look around when you're painting. Just don't pay any heed to anything what you're doing, just splash it on, and then go back with a little tiny cut out gap here like that, and just, I have got a circle run around here too, and just to find out, you know, what's going to look good. You can paint this black if you want to, and then that gives you more of a better perspective what it's going to look like. I really enjoyed doing that. So if you enjoyed watching this, please subscribe to my channel and press that bell, and you'll get notifications when I put more videos up. If you like it, please press the like button and leave a comment. I like to see comments that are really nice, not ones that's sort of going to condemn what I'm, you know, I'm out of focus, and I do sometimes go out, and I apologise for that. If I don't phrase anything right, I have had comments come back at that. But you know, just keep things positive. I like positive feedback. I enjoy this, doing this. This is my pain relief strategy, I guess, because I can't take painkillers. And I like to share what I'm doing with everybody. I know there's a lot out there, and other people most probably have done these sort of things, but that's okay. Hey, I just come up with different things using what I got in my house, and that's what I like to see other people do without going out and buying stuff that they can't afford, and it's more pleasurable using what you have in your house, just using basic equipment. I think it just makes it more joyful, and having all these flashy things. Mark me, I do have a Cricut to cut out my shapes. I do have a lot of fancy equipment my mum had bought me, but since she's gone and that, but I still seem to fall back using my basic skills. I sort of I don't know what it is. I just keep coming back to all my basic skills. I seem to enjoy that more, and it gives me more pleasure with what I'm doing. Okay, guys, God bless. Please stay safe. And if you like, just drop over, click on the link below, and come over and join our little group. The ladies over there are really awesome. They come up with beautiful ideas, beautiful stuff. It's a real pleasure having them all there, as much as a pleasure having all you ladies, even though I don't know none of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to my channel and following me along in my little journey of doing this. So God bless, and please stay safe, and I will catch you next time. Bye.